Well, many years ago when I first got into Milanos, one of the weirdest and most annoying issues that I had was that the ARC Alfa Romeo control panel, they always have the Christmas light fiasco going on. So you have all the random lights flickering, and that, obviously that light, because of that, is flashing red all the time. And it's just a nuisance. That was way back in 2003 or something when I first got my Milano. I was in high school. Since then, there's been a lot of, people have disassembled the ARC and figured out why that was. But when I was a teenager, I decided that it was annoying and I needed to change it. So I came up with the ARC number 2 and a couple years after that, which was this. So basically, I cut the guts of the warning panel off the back of the original cluster. Basically, cut it all off. And basically just put this new gauge panel in with these VDO gauges. To the astute viewers, you'll notice that these are from I think they're from a Scirocco. Yeah, good chance they're from a Scirocco or a Golf or something like that. Actually, no, these are the ones from the Audi. These are from Audi 4000s, I think. Nevertheless, I've had this panel now in the Milano for a long, long time. It's been like this probably since 2005, 2006. It's been like this. So on the back we have the original clock and warning panel, and then we have hot glued in the panel, the PVC panel that those are on, as well as 2 of those VDO gauges. The oil temperature, that's oil temperature, not coolant temperature. The oil temperature gets wired into my oil filter sandwich block where my cooler taps off of to get the more accurate reading. And I do actually like the panel. It's pretty good. The only issue I had with it is it doesn't really match the stock instruments amazingly well. And I figured that I could do a better job of it. So I'm actually doing another one. I'm going to call it the ARC number 3. Going from this to this. The ARC number 3. And there we go. So we have a finished product here at this point. Other than just one of the lighting wires, I've got to solder properly. I wasn't really happy with it. So yeah, here we are. After a rather lengthy process of getting this designed and put back together, we have a finished product that I'm pretty overall happy with. So we had the old gauges. I wasn't perfectly happy with. But I have the VDO movement. Obviously, I have the VDO sender in the oil filter flange. So I had to basically take these are actually original Alfa Romeo gauges from this cluster. So I actually had a cluster spare, as you can see down there. So I basically wanted to use the original Alfa Romeo gauge motors for no other reason other than the fact that those needles are the original needles and I wanted to use them. So I basically took the VDO curves and recurved a new gauge using the original Alfa Romeo gauges, and then turned the fuel gauge into a volt gauge. I'm not going to describe the pain in which you have to go and to do that, but nevertheless, I threw this into the scanner. So that I could get the basic shape and layout of the gauges. And then my girlfriend taught me Photoshop. I Photoshopped these new faces in accordance with the new scale of the new gauges. And then while I was at it, because I obviously wanted to the warning light functions as well, might as well since you're at it, I have the old ARC. I have this one, but I also have this. So with the magic of having 2, I was able to throw that in the scanner as well and cut and paste these warning symbols and touch them up. Obviously, that warning symbol is not in this panel. It is not in this panel. You see park and brake. So what I did is actually combined the functions of those just into a generic, holy shit, there's something wrong with their brakes light. Either your parking brake or your foot brake. Something's wrong. Have a look. Red light. Red means stop. I, in accordance with how the old gauges were, with the warning lights right there, I put the alternator warning light there. So how does this all run, you're going to ask? Well, obviously these two are just regular gauge motors from that original cluster. Here's actually one of them. This will be the oil pressure gauge. So basically that's just the gauge motor. I've recurved them, and I'll show you the circuit board on the back that I used to do that real quick. We're going to flip it back. And we can see the sort of rudimentary circuit that I used to get everything recurved and to obviously convert the voltmeter, or to convert the fuel gauge to a voltmeter. I needed a couple parts, obviously that Zener diode and a variable potentiometer. You can see the warning lights, LEDs are wired pretty simply to the face from the back. Really, really slick, really, really simple. I've got this, I used ABS plastic for the construction of the sort of box. You can see how the lighting is done up top there. I used a piece from the original instrument cluster, and then there's some bulbs up top here, just wired in. So yeah, it's very elegant, very simple. I got some Molex pieces, crimped my own Molex. That's going to tie into the car's wiring harness for power, ground, and illumination. And then this little spot right there where you see those little pins, well, this goes to the original ARC board. So this is the original ARC board that's actually inside of here. And I put a new voltage regulator in there so that it works again. And then basically removed all of the LEDs from this and basically put that into a pigtail. And that's going to go and plug in on the back. And so basically I have all my warning lights run from the original factory board. So very, very slick. The sensors in the Alfa Romeo aren't just like on and off switches. This actually runs off like a serial connection with like, there's a data bus. So you're best to try to use this board if you want your warning lights to work properly. So yeah, we got a little breakout thing right there. Just plugs into the back. Everything is very easy to take out and put back in, which is nice. All the original warning lights are there. So yeah, very slick and elegant way to do it. I've got this piece of clear plastic on the front to mimic how the original instruments are done in the Alfa. You can see how the original instruments are very similar. So yeah, you've got that clear piece of glass in the front. You've got the instruments in behind. Everything is painted flat on the inside so that there's no light reflections. And the color, although it doesn't really show up on camera, does match the original cluster pretty much exactly. Although that looks way different. Oh, the flash turned off automatically. Anyway, so yeah, now you can see that the color is pretty damn close. To my eye, it looks wonderful. So very happy with the result. I can't really give many people any other hints. If they want to attempt something like this themselves, they're going to have to be pretty creative. But overall, I've been wanting to do this for a long, long time, and I finally decided to just take the dive and do it. And very happy with the results. So any comments in the down below would be helpful. And if anybody would like to know more about this little project, yeah, I can give some little pointers. So yeah, from this to this. Bye for now.